Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we've got an important topic to talk about, so you're going to hear me yap for a lot of this video, but I think it's a very important yap session because we're going to be talking about all things competitive with Brawl Stars, and is there actually any competitive nature left in the game right now? We'll have to discuss this in this video, so I'm interested to hear your guys' point of view after you've heard this video, so make sure to watch to the end to just hear all of my points and whatever else. So I did a video like this about 3 months ago or so, about I think a month after the ranked season just ended, the first one, you know, going through the pros and cons of Power League and ranked and whatever else, and that was a really thoughtful video, so you could take a look back at that as well because I had a lot of good points. But now we're really going to fine-tune some big issues that I think ranked has and how I think they should probably fix these in the future. So my first complaint, first and foremost, is that I just feel like the competitive level of every single game I play is just horrendous. It is just downright so bad. If you watch my streams every day in the week, quick little plug around 6 o'clock BST time, you see that most of the time I'm hardly trying and I'm winning pretty much every single game. Every time. I know obviously that's only for a few percentage, small minority that have this problem, right? But it's still the fact that the matchmaking just feels completely scuffed. I don't know how they're going to fix this. The elo just feels completely inflated. Everybody can just get masters, which it is okay in itself. I feel like for the casuals it needs to be obtainable to get masters, or just at least near masters to get the most rewards, or else it's going to be really frustrating. But at the same time, there should be something above masters, or just some way that the pros and the competitive players can work towards to actually like grind, and like a need to grind. And especially like my biggest concern is that I'm quite high in elo right now, like top 50, and even though I'm top 50, you would think like the top 50 players in the world, there should be like a little pool of players, you should be facing off against each other, and it should be a lot more competitive. It should be done via like the elo. The more elo you have in masters, then it can fine-tune matchmaking like that. But I just don't think that doesn't happen whatsoever. A lot of the time as well in ranked, you end up facing like a full team, for example, and then the first player will be like a masters player, and then they'll team up with like 2 legendaries or mythics. But then you check the profile and they're teaming with like silver players. Like I know a lot of people say straight away, well, I never played Power League in the past because blah 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 blah. But at the same time, you can just see by their 3 wins, or just overall they're not experienced enough to be in the master player pool, and it's just too easy. And a lot of the time it's not even worth like the win, my time, because I get 25 elo for the win. I've played for like 8 minutes or whatever, and I literally have to win 8 games, and then if I lose once, that's all my elo gone, even if I play as a duo, which again, the elo is still pretty scuffed. So my proposal, I don't know, like I know a lot of people hated Power League. I just think Power League just needed some fine-tuning. I think the elo side of it was pretty good. I'm starting to get the feeling that they shouldn't be having a solo, duo, and a full team in the same matchmaking pool, because again, it just leads to like scuffed matchmaking. It just leads to weird experience. Like again, like I'm playing as a solo and it's just pretty hard to push, even if I'm winning. Like my ratio must at least be, I'd say 5 wins, 1 loss, I would say right now in masters in the past few months. And I just still don't really feel like I'm getting enough elo as a solo. And then I'm doing duo this season, I'm winning every single game pretty much, and then I'll lose 1 game in 2 hours, and that's all my elo gone. So again, I feel like the duo matchmaking is scuffed. And then team, I think that's probably the only way you can really push right now, because if you just get a really good team together, you're pretty much going to win every single game. But that's just not really a fun experience. That's just Team Power League again, and pretty much no one played Team Power League except for like win traders and everything else. So my proposal is that I would actually like for Masters Power League to be completely solo. Like I know it's fun to play ranked to whatever competitive games with your friends and whatever else, but I just think the way that the matchmaking and algorithm goes, I just don't think that Brawl Stars as a game is actually that good in duos and a team. I would just like the solo Power League experience. I know that it's pretty frustrating, but I think it's the most fun. It was by far the most played out of the solo and the team in Power League. I just think that Power League in the past, there was a few bad things about it, right? Like there was no rewards, the games are really long, especially up until Diamond. So I think if they fix the kind of issues before Diamond or whatever else, maybe make the games quicker, just more modifiers, etc, etc, and then for the end game players, add a lot of different incentives, like add a leaderboard on your profile. That's literally the biggest #1 I would wish for. They need to fix the inconsistencies with the elo of a top level. Again, I felt like in Power League it was pretty easy to progress, and you know how you was progressing. I know there was no numbers, but most of the time, if you just won like, I don't know, a ratio of 3 to 1 or even 2 to 1, you would gain elo consistently, which was really nice feeling. It felt like he was pretty rewarded. A lot of the best players in the world were at the top of the ranking. To me, that feels like a nice system. I know a lot of people complained about it, but like if you check back at all the previous Power League seasons, there was like Naui, Bobby, all of these pro players were always consistently at the top. So something had to be right within the matchmaking algorithms. Again, I don't know behind the scenes, but it just seemed good, especially when I was on stream as well. It just felt really good. The only thing that was frustrating is that I didn't actually see the points that I gained. I wasn't like, we weren't told how it kind of works. I'd like to actually be told how the matchmaking works at ranked and especially at masters. And again, I don't know, like there's just a lot really going on with ranks, which I'm just not really feeling like I like playing it, if you get what I mean. Like in my spare time, I used to love playing Power League. The only really big reason I'm playing ranked is to help you guys get masters, and it's really hype that a lot of you guys are excited to get masters and excited to hopefully get all these skins and get all the legendary star drops, which again, I really enjoy. I just think once we reap masters, or I don't know, maybe there can be, I spoke about this last time, like a different player pool in the top 500, top 250, then there could be like masters plus, I don't know what they'd call it, maybe in an entirely different rank where only like the competitive side of Brawl Stars is. I would really enjoy that, because again, like competitive Brawl Stars isn't for everyone. I think there's always a limit, especially for the casuals, where I don't know, you reach masters or you'll reach a set goal in elo and then you'll give up. You won't be like the pro players who will just grind non-stop and try and get those leaderboards. You know, it takes a lot of time to push the leaderboards. So I feel like the top 0.1% are completely forgotten about a lot of the time. I know like you've got to cater to the majority of the player base, but I just feel like that narrative actually gets pushed a bit too much. I think the 0.1% a lot of the time are actually forgotten about in some senses. Again, I know we're the minority, but we should still have something to grind for, because if it's nothing end game, like I'm seeing a lot of negative things on Twitter about like ladder, trophy inflation, there's elo inflation, there's like everything's inflated. So I feel like there has to be some sort of change in ladder, some sort of change in ranked, or else what will players grind for? Because eventually you're going to just get so inflated. Like for example, I go down my friends list and so many people have 100k trophies. It's insane. So many people have like all rank 35s or at least close to it, but what happens after that? It's like it feels like you can't actually play your brawlers because you're stuck in matchmaking forever. If you lose the game, you like lose so many trophies. There's like no point actually playing once you get to that rank 35. Again, that's maybe another issue I'll talk about with ladder, but I think there's a lot that needs to be spoken about with ranked, and I just don't know. I'm just at this point of frustration where I do wish Power League was back, in the sense like it felt competitive. It actually felt rewarding to get masters. Right now, again, I want to hear your guys' opinion, because you're the majority, right? Does it actually still feel rewarding to get masters? Do you actually have fun whilst grinding it? Again, I want to see the numbers. I've not seen any type of numbers anywhere from Brawl Stars. That's why I hope they kind of speak out about this and maybe do a podcast, because I would like to see the numbers, how it compared to Power League, what they're kind of thinking about in terms of improvements, because at this point I'm just waffling, and I just hope in the future there's like some big changes that can really make this game more competitive, because it's clear that ranked as a rework, it has been a success. I can't just say negative things over and over again. Like I like the changes with the modifiers. I know some of them are pretty cheesy and not that skillful, but some of them have been pretty fun, and especially until we get to like, I don't know, Mythic, I think that could be a good implementation, especially with like quick fire. It's pretty fun. Time detonation, it's okay, it switches up the meta. But again, I'm glad that they've toned it down for masters, but I think there's a couple of key things they need to fix. Then overall, they need to fix the higher end, so making it so the elo is a lot more sustainable, and it's just a lot easier to know what you're gaining, what you're not. And then they need to probably fix the latter end. I'm guessing there's probably some issues there, because especially once you go from, I think it's gold to diamond, I reckon a lot of people probably end up quitting because it goes straight to a draft. It's probably a little bit too long for players. Maybe we need to quicken up the draft up until like, I don't know, Mythic, I feel, or even Legendary. I feel like that's when the hardcore players continue playing, is Legendary. So make the draft longer at Legendary, keep it short up until then. there's a lot of things that they can do. So hopefully Brawl Stars make some changes in the next update. Again, I'm just voicing my opinion because it's just been a concern for a while, and especially it just really doesn't motivate me, especially when I want to like grind on stream. I have to find like my own ways of entertainment rather than the game itself. Like the game itself, if it was competitive, that would be my form of entertainment, because there's nothing better than just trying to grind, trying to get to number 1, trying to improve. But right now I actually feel like I'm getting worse in Brawl Stars. Every ranked game, I honestly think I get worse. I don't think I'm getting better. I'm just facing off against noobs and I'm not improving as a player. I don't like that as a competitive player. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this Waffle Fest. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.